tour of our cottage stables. I'm Steve, Julie's husband. First horse we're looking at is Morris Spencer. He's a homebred horse owned by Elite Racing Club. He's a winner and he's been placed. He was a good second last time out, so we hope he can win next time. This filly is called Lowe's. She's run 3 times and she's shown promise on 2 occasions. We think she's probably on to another furlong, so she runs over 7 furlongs tomorrow night at Newcastle, and hopefully she'll go well. This is Bitterbox Girl, owned by Cliff Stud. She's run 3 times and again has shown promise on 2 occasions. She's going to go back to Cliff Stud, which is the most lovely place in Hemsley, for a little break, and we'll be back on the all-weather in the new year. This horse here is Edgewood, owned by the Armstrongs, Highfield Farm. He's having a good year. He's won 2 of his 3 starts, and we hope there's quite a nice handicap here. Since the horse is improving. This is Leaper's Wood. He hasn't run for us yet. We recently got him from Paul Midgley. The intention is to run him on the 15th of September at Redcut, and he has some useful form in the past, so hopefully we can win a race or 2 with him. This is a little 2-year-old unraced owned by Johnny Allison and his wife Virginia. They've bred him as well out of the winning mare they had called Lunar Mission. He's called Bargy and he's showing some promise. He's probably a month or 6 weeks away from a run. This is a horse called Curlew, owned by Julie and myself, who's bred here at the stud. He hasn't shown much so far, but we do believe he has some ability. Curlew is named after our favourite hotel destination in the Maldives. We highly recommend it for a place to go on holiday. This is an unraced 3-year-old filly called Latterhead, owned by Bill Turnbull, a long-standing owner with the yard. And Bill names his horses, his recent horses, after places in the Lake District. So we've just seen Loweswater, and this is Latterhead, and the theme continues further along. This is Lookout Louis, a horse we recently bought at Newmarket Sales. He had some good form for Temistivy, and we hopefully we can. He's been a little bit below form this year, but hopefully we can get him back up to the levels he previously showed for Tim. This is a nice unraced horse for Elwick Stud. He's a big horse, he's needed a little bit of time. He's called Fort McHenry and he shows a fair bit of promise in his sort of early training. This is a homebred filly called Deb Says No. It's a filly filly that we've been bringing along steadily. You can see she's a big girl. She's very sweet and kind. She showed some promise in her work last year. She had a good breakthrough the summer and has now just come back into work. This is another unraced Elwick stud horse called Quest for Fun. We have his half brother Janusis, who you'll see in a minute. He's by Luke de Vega, who's obviously a very successful stallion. And again, he's showing promise in his work and we're very pleased with him. Tambourine Girl recently arrived. She knows Drew Horse, and she came from Roger Charlton. She won races as a 2-year-old, and she's just settling into our yard now. We've had her a couple of weeks, and she's been very straightforward and sweet. So we're looking forward to getting to know her more, and again, hoping we can get her back to a good 2-year-old form that she had for Roger. This is a filly called Mina Valor. She won 2 races last year for Brian Smart. She's run twice for us and finished 3rd on both occasions. showing promise both times, so we hope we can get her back in the winners enclosure very soon. Again owned by Cliff Stud. She's a lovely big mare, and we're very pleased with her so far. Come down. This is also Quiet, who is very green on her debut last week. She's a half sister to Morris Dancer, so again bred by the Elite Racing Club, and we believe that she'll quickly put a debut run behind her and show some promise next time out for the members, because we like what she's done at home. So we'll probably see in the next fortnight. This is another owners group horse called Proclaimer. He's a great character. He's won and been placed on his last 2 starts. So he ran nicely today at Yarmouth, and he'll be out again pretty soon. He's a nice sort of horse, and we certainly haven't seen the best of him. Another gelding of Bill's from the Lake District called Thatchwaite. He's a nice horse, but he's backwards, so he's been giving him plenty of time. He's from a good family, and we like what he's done. But he'd be a horse we'll see at the back end of the year. This is a Grey Bay. He's a nice horse. He's been placed and hasn't won yet, but we're hoping he can remedy that pretty soon. He's in to run at Catterick tomorrow, and hopefully he'll run well. This is a new horse to us called Urban Spirit. He's a very kind, sweet horse. He's won in the past, but not for us. He hasn't shown too much on his 3 starts so far, but we believe he can do better, and hopefully will sooner rather than later. New owners to us, Dr. Parry and Ian Clement, so obviously, like all our owners, are very keen to do well for them. Chosen World is owned by a couple of our long-standing owners who've done very well in the past with us. This horse has won multiple times and been placed often. And he's been a little bit below form lately, but we believe he'll bounce back sooner rather than later. And he's in good shape, and we'll see him on the track again soon. You go. This is Aaron Howe. He's won 4 races and been placed a number of times. He's a nice solid handicapper. Been a little bit below form of late, so we gave him a little break. He's going to come back fresh and well at the end of September, we hope, and hopefully can be winning again soon. Captain Crowley is a 3-year-old gelding who just had a hop day operation, owned by Judy and Richard Peck, as quite a few of the horses you've seen already. We've been long-standing and valued owners to ourselves. As I said, he's just had a hop day operation, so he's just come back into work, and probably out in the next, probably taking about a month, 6 weeks to get him back on track. But we hope the operations had to his win, they'll be successful, and we can get him into winners enclosure soon. Weatherfell is owned by ourselves, Julie and myself. He runs tomorrow evening at Newcastle. He was a breeze-up horse that we bought. We've been patient with him, given plenty of time. He ran well on his first start for Victor Santos, who rides him every day at home, and finished 3rd. So hopefully he can build off that soon. So he's Judicial, who's the star of the show. He's won his second Group 3 race this year for us. and he's also won a listed race. So he's having a decent year. We've been very pleased with him, and he's been a star for us, and most importantly for Elite Racing Club and the members who bred him. It's a story that's been well told now. We had his issues when he came, and he's settled into the most wonderful racehorse. He's pretty fresh and well. He's had a few days off after he ran on Sunday at York, and we'll just have a look through and see what we're doing with him next. He's possibly got to Ascot in the first week of October, but he's had another good season, and even though he's 8, there's no reason to think he's slowing down at all, and I'm sure he'll be okay, good for another year. This is another horse for Albert Stud. He's by Teophilia. He's gradually improving with each start. He's only ran 6 times, and he's been placed on 4 occasions. He's a horse we like. He stays middle distances, and we're looking forward to seeing him out again soon. Loretta is owned by the Elite Racing Club, again bred by them, and she's a full sister to Judicial, but unfortunately doesn't have a brother's ability, and she's just been retired actually. She's been placed 3 times, but doesn't quite meet the standards that we need for the club, so she'll be retired, and they may breed off her, or she may go to the sales. I'm not sure that decision has been made. This is Royal Prospect. He's a multiple winner for Elwick Stud here. He's a horse we like. He has a great tendency to rip rugs, as you can see. So it's not the usual standard of garment we have on our horses, but that's his choice. He's a pleasant horse, and he's in good form, and he's in to run this week at Doncaster, where we think he'll run well. Shepherd's Way is a lovely little filly, again owned by the Armstrongs. She won on Friday last week at Haydock, so she's won 2 of the 4 starts for us. And we like her. We feel she's an improving filly. She's very straightforward and sweet, and we think there's still more to come from her. This is Majestic Stone, who's a winner and placed on numerous occasions for the Majestic Stone Partnership, who are lovely long-standing owners we have. He ran the other day with our stable amateur on Aidan Blakemore, and he ran a nice enough race. He loves soft ground, so hopefully he'll be competitive and out again very soon. This is a new horse to the yard. He's an unraced 2-year-old called Bridgetown, owned again by the owners group, who are great supporters of ours. He's a really handsome looking colt. We bought him at the Breeze at sales, and he'd be a nice horse. From the back end of September into October, I would think. He might want 7 furlongs, we'll see. We're just learning about him now, so hopefully he'd be out on the track at the back end of the third season. Nice unnamed horse, quite new to the 3-year-old, by Mason out of a mare called Obsessive. He's a half brother to a horse called Excellent Art, who was a good stallion for Coolmore, and he's a horse that again we haven't had too long, but he's doing nicely in his training, and we're looking forward to seeing more from him in the coming weeks. This is Marble, who's a popular horse. Again, he's owned by the owners group. He's been placed in all his starts except his first one, without winning, which is a little bit frustrating, but he always runs a good race for his owners. Obviously we'll be able to run with him in the near future. He likes soft ground on turf, so hopefully we can get his head in front on turf, and then he'll run a little bit on the all-weather as well. He's a very kind horse, horse we're very fond of, and we love him dearly. This is Admiral Percy. He's another owners group horse. He's only ran there once, but unfortunately hurt himself while he was running, so it wasn't a very good run, unfortunately. But he's a horse that's just taken some time. He's a big sort of horse, and he's taken some time to grow into himself, but he's doing nicely at the minute, so we hope to see him back out on the track before the end of the turf season. Continuing the theme for Bill Turnbull's horses, this is Low Fell, an unraced 3-year-old filly by Make Believe. She's doing nicely in her training, she's ready to run, but like all the Make Believe, she'll want some soft ground, and we're looking forward to seeing her run. This is Makana, who's owned by Axon, which is a syndicate of people that have been within the yard quite a while. It's under the Owners Group Elite Racing umbrella. Makana's a useful horse, he's rated 104 now, and he's won multiple races for his owners. He runs in the listed Scarborough Stakes on Wednesday, where we hope to go well, but he's up in class, so he needs to prove himself, but he's had a good season. He won at Newmarket on Guineas Day, won a handicap there on Guineas Day earlier in the season, so he sort of warrants a step up in grade, and we hope he'll run well. Just another new horse for the yard, called One of a Rare Kind. He's just come over from Ireland. He's a nice big horse. He's a 3-year-old again and raced, and you can see he's had to be given time because he's such a big fella. It's early days for us, but he goes up quite nicely, so I don't think he's too far off a run, so hopefully he'll be out in September sometime and showing us plenty of ability. This is a horse called Big Legs. He's had 3 starts for us. He's won and been placed on his last 2 starts. He's a horse we like. He's a very sweet-natured horse. He's settled into the yard beautifully, and we feel as though we haven't seen the best of him yet. This is a filly again that we've raised. He hasn't managed to win, but he's been placed on numerous occasions, called Arby Brief. She's a sweet filly. She's quite lowly rated, but she's more than capable of winning races, probably over a stiff 6 or 7 furlongs. This is a new filly to us, owned by Bernie McGarrigle, who actually bred Makana. And she's a filly that we just learned about really. We haven't had her too long, we give her a little bit of time when she came here to settle in. And she seems quite a nice, straightforward filly. Everyone likes her and feels that she's got some ability, so we'll see how she goes. And again, she'll be ready to run probably the back end of September. Bill Turnbull's Lawton. She won the big sales race with a 2-year-old down at Newmarket, £150,000 race, so that's the biggest money-wise winner we've had. And she's been a good filly to us. She's won numerous times, and she ran very well last week at first, where she finished 4th, having got a bad knock coming out the stalls, but we were pleased with her on the day, and she ran a usual game honest race, and I'm sure she can win again soon. She loves soft ground. It's another filly for the Armstrongs, and she's had a good season. She's won 3 races for us this year. She's ran 6 times, finished 3rd on the other 2, and was unplaced on her first start for us. She's a very sweet filly. We feel as though she's still improving and has a little bit more to offer us, but either way we're very happy with what she's done this year. This is KY Kelly, and she's won 2 of her last 2 starts. She won last week at Hamilton, a filly's handicap, quite nicely. She has the distinction of going up £12 to win the race at Haydock, which takes a little bit of doing on the flat. And she's a filly that's going forward. Again, I hope we haven't seen the best of her. She's a very sweet filly, and she seems to be, going from strength to strength at the moment. Owned by Cliff Stud, like a couple of other horses. This is Burton Wood, who's a favourite in the yard. We've had him since we bought him as a 2-year-old out of Richard Fye's, and he's 8 now. I think he's won 8 races for us, and everyone just loves him. He's the kindest horse, a great character. He again is owned by Richard and Judy and ourselves, but he's just a lovely, sweet horse. Seems to reserve his best for Beverley these days. There's a race there on the 22nd for him, so hopefully he'll go well again there. And finally, this is Lazy Itis. She's owned by More Cool Racing. She's the first foal of the horse that they raced, called Horsebuff. She's been placed on the last 3 starts. Hasn't managed to win, but I don't feel as though that'll be too far away. She's a nice, forward, strong filly. Has plenty of speed about her. Kind and willing, and I'm sure she'll get ahead in front sooner rather than later.